It's Monday morning. It's GT Morning Update. Today we're talking about FAFO. Yes, F around and find out. We may actually use the F word. You never know, it slips out sometimes, but we'll try to behave ourselves. So, a couple of recent examples over the weekend, plus one that's been lingering since September 10th. And that's today's topic, FAFO, from populisttimes.com. Two women from Bentonville, Arkansas, were arrested after allegedly destroying a memorial honoring Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk on the steps of the Benton County Courthouse. The incident occurred on September 17th and was captured by video by a passersby. It's only just breaking for some reason. The video shows 23-year-old Carrie Rollo and her younger sister, 22-year-old Kaylee Rollo, kicking over candles, ripping up signs, and yelling at the individual filming them. At one point, Carrie is heard saying, "He lived as he died, promoting violence." I think I know where she gets her information from. The sisters were later arrested and charged with first-degree criminal mischief. We have video, courtesy of Unlimited L's on X. Check this out. Oh.
He lived as he died, promoting violence. Record all you want.
Nobody's free, dude.
Well, are you?
No, look at this shit.
Check it out.
Look at this shit.
Fuck all this reactive bullshit.
Yeah, 9-point
Fuck
transgender.
Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk.
So, FAFO, right? Here's a question. What'd you do that for? Didn't think you were going to get caught? Didn't think you were going to get in trouble? Given the culture that we're in, don't you watch the news? The sisters were later arrested and charged with first-degree criminal mischief. They were released on a $22,500 bond. According to the Daily Mail, the fallout extended beyond their legal troubles. Here comes the FO part, ladies and gentlemen. Carrie lost her job at a local restaurant following the incident, while Kaylee's boyfriend ended their relationship and asked her to move out of his residence. Both Carrie and Kaylee Rollo are scheduled to appear in court to face charges stemming from the vandalism of the memorial. The sisters did set up a GoFundMe in which they claim they're being doxxed and harassed. Well, I have some thoughts about that. We don't condone doxing or harassing, but there's a crazy thing about when you get arrested. A lot of information about you becomes public. So people know your name, your age, maybe even where you live. And of course, it's Bentonville. Bentonville's not tiny, but, you know, the current temperature is a little high. So we do not condone any of that, but you shouldn't be vandalizing other people's stuff. And it's their public expression. Yours does not supersede theirs. And that's a problem on the left that they just can't seem to get away from because they can't stand it. They don't want anybody else to have an opinion that isn't approved by them. So public details were out there. I don't know if they really were getting doxxed. You know, Democrats lie. Just about every hate crime that you hear about that gets broadly advertised, campus hate crime in particular, turns out they made it up. They hate it on themselves to get attention because it's a victim class culture. That's what they're all about. So, next up, who could be next? This is from some actual doxing. This is from Scott McClellan at townhall.com. Federal grand jury has returned a 2-count indictment charging 3 women, 2 from Southern California and 1 from Colorado, with following a United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent home, live streaming their pursuit and then posting the victim's home address on Instagram, the Justice Department has announced. The grand jury charged the following defendants with 1 count of conspiracy and 1 count of publicly disclosing the personal information of a federal agent, which is apparently a crime. Cynthia Ragosa, 37 of Riverside, California. Ashley Brown, 38 of Aurora, Colorado. Ooh, Aurora. And Sandra Caroma Samane, 25 of Panama City. Brown and Samane have been arrested on federal criminal complaints. Brown, who is also charged in a separate case with assault of a federal officer, is in federal custody without bond. No freedom for you until your court date. If convicted, the defendants would face a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison for each count. And let me just interject here that there's a very low tolerance right now for this sort of behavior. So guess what? FAFO, at least in this case, no migrants were killed as they attempted to teach ICE a lesson. In a related note, Saturday, I was at the 603 Alliance 10th anniversary celebration. I'm on the board of directors, so I was involved in planning, deployment, and enjoyment, if you like. And it was at Russell Prescott's barn in Kingston. And somebody was there telling me a story about how they heard somebody on TV, whether it was a comedian or perhaps one of the right-wing pundits, said they need to put N in front of ICE. You know, ICE agents. Well, then all of a sudden they become nice agents. And, I thought about that. I go, yeah, that's a really good idea. Can you imagine the left-wing media having to say, nice federal agents were assaulted by Antifa? So, and you could do it. National Immigrations Custom Enforcement, NICE. Not to be confused with NICS, which has like 17 television programs. Anyway, so the final thing comes to us from Texas, and I will share the tweet like here. 100 teachers are having their teaching licenses revoked in the state publicly for celebrating murder, while teachers in Florida are facing similar disciplinary action for similar misconduct. I'm not saying I agree with that, but educators who celebrate murder in public where their students can see it probably should not be teaching children. That's my advice to educators. I want to remind you to check out GraniteRock.com all day today for stories about New Hampshire progressives who celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. That's coming up. We have a post on some Facebook tyranny, which we're all familiar with. A massive solar boondoggle that is finally going to die. And don't forget, it's Monday, so we have Monday memes and Grok Talks at 8 p.m. Eastern, plus a lot more. That's it for this morning. We'll see you tomorrow.